Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Kind of a quiet start to Wednesday morning here at Hy-Vee Today. This is Tony Tone. We're doing the show live inside Hy-Vee here off Highway 61 in Muscatine. It is 8:34 a.m. But for a lot of you, several thousand of you, it's either 7:30 p.m. or 10:30 p.m. because you watch us weeknights on cable, which I appreciate. And if you're watching us on television, hello. And coming soon to Channel 5, you'll be able to watch this show live in the morning. And then we'll still replay it at night, right, fellas? Is that the plan? Okay, that sounds good. But live on cable, so that'll be a whole nother audience that'll be able to experience this show. And we've been doing this show since February of 2018, and it's a lot of fun, and we are very thankful to have a pretty large audience that watches us on social media and then on cable, and I appreciate everybody that tunes in. So welcome, and thanks for being here. Really excited that I got to print my stuff on purple paper today. It's the little things in life, and as you get older, that make you excited. I'm 35 now, and purple paper is the highlight of my day, friends. Today, I should tell you before we go any further, is National Chocolate Chip Day, and I could have sworn that Ryan Broderson would have had just a plethora, a mountain of chocolate chip cookies because he's the hungriest person in Muscatine. He's got no chocolate chip cookies. Now he's trying to point out that it's just National Chocolate Chip Day, Tony, that it's not National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Well, Ryan, I don't know what else you're putting chocolate chips in. He would probably also be quick to comment back pancakes, right? Do you like chocolate chip pancakes? Yeah, okay. Well, if you want to get any cookies later on the show, we'll put them on your tab. You're free to do that. And then if we look ahead to next Friday, and I don't technically talk about shows that are that far out, Friday, May 24th, we will have a familiar face back on the show with us. How about Chef Tess from the Merrill, executive chef of the Merrill Hotel and Conference Center with Maxwell's, the restaurant. They've got a brand new menu, and I only hope that Chef Tess will bring something for sweet, young, hungry Ryan Broderson to eat from her new menu. Certainly, I, nor Chad, nor Cody, we don't need anything, but Ryan is clamoring for that Brussels sprout salad that Chef Tess was posting pictures of. So we look forward to that. Yeah, we've just got a lot of great shows over the next several days and weeks, and we're looking forward to it. And then some time off coming up in June as I and my family and I get ready to move. So with that being said, let's get to our guests that are here. And there's that Brussels sprout salad. Thank you, Ryan. You know what I love more than Brussels sprouts? Literally anything else. I don't want anything to do with that salad. I love Chef Tess. I love Merrill and Maxwell's, but I want to stay as far away as possible from that Brussels sprout. Now, would I try it? Maybe. Under much duress. I close my eyes, pinch my nose. I would try it, but I don't know. We'll see what Chef brings us. She doesn't have to bring anything, but we'll see. All right, let's get to our first guests that are patiently waiting. I love when we have more than one guest on with us in the morning. So to my right is Zuzu Hartman. I want to make sure I get this right. Emmy Smith is next to Zuzu, and then John. Is it Tama?
It's Thoma, like throw.
See, yeah. John, I wanted to say Thoma, but I was like, I bet it's going to be Tama, and I'm going to say it wrong.
You are not the only person. We actually argue in my family on Thanksgiving about this.
You do?
We do.
Wait,
yeah.
In your own family?
Yeah.
Are there parts of the Thoma family that are like Team Tama, and then there's Team Thoma? What's happening?
A little bit. Like there's just kind of a general argument because the proper German pronunciation is Thoma, but we're in America, and
okay.
my dad and my grandpa all say Thoma. So that's kind of the way I go, if that makes sense.
I would not argue with Grandpa.
I don't like arguing with my grandpa.
Yeah,
no,
I wouldn't do that.
Not at all.
So I also want to point out that, and it was just, what was it, a month or two ago that you were recognized by Toyota Muscatine Teacher of the Month?
Yeah, I got
to
drive around that Prius, and that was really awesome. My daughter, we drove it into the driveway. She's only 20 months old, and she thought it was hers, and so she jumped right in, and we let her kind of sit at the wheel.
Yeah.
And yeah, we didn't let her drive, though.
Well, John, I don't know if you knew this or not. You could buy the car after the fact. I'm sure they would love to sell it to you, so you make your daughter happy.
I had a feeling that was part of it. I don't know. Maybe I would. That Prius was pretty nice.
It's awesome to get recognized like that, right? There's the picture, right? Look at that.
Yeah, that's
just
me.
in April. Zuzu's laughing. I don't know why. Wait, what's funny about that?
Everything.
Everything. Okay. I wouldn't laugh at my orchestra director. I would be like, congratulations.
I don't get any respect at MHS, let me tell you. No
Tough,
I'm Ronnie
tough
Dangerfield.
crowd. I was going to say, no respect, no respect. All right, the 10th annual Giles Jocelyn Memorial String Fest is this Saturday, and I remember Giles when my wife and I, so my wife's from Muscatine, we started dating 10 years ago. That's how old I am now. I'm old enough to have been dating somebody for 10 years. We started dating 10 years ago, and one of the places that we frequented was Salvatore's in downtown Muscatine. And Brad, I hope you're going to call me soon, by the way. Soon, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Just a couple, maybe tomorrow.
I don't know.
All right, sorry. I was going to call you, and then, all right, anyways, let me get back to my
That's
story.
all right,
This is what happens live show.
That's okay.
So we're at Salvatore's, and there's this young man, and he's walking around, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Giles played the violin.
Violin, yeah.
And it was wonderful, and it was just a very relaxing, and I just was so taken aback by Giles, and he was there all the time when we would go. I mean, at least a half a dozen times I remember getting seated, and then Giles was going around and playing, and it was just such a great thing to have. And then tragedy struck, but I know that Stringfest keeps Giles' legacy alive. We've been looking at some great pictures on the screen. So I guess the obvious question, John, is did you know Giles?
Well, I was just thinking about that while you were talking about it. I've been here since 2012,
Okay.
so I was hired in like April that year. I got here in August. He had passed away in January of that year, so
Okay.
I never met Giles. But I feel like I know him very well. He had a big personality.
Yep.
He had a magnetic personality, from what I understand. He cared very deeply about music and about our orchestra program.
Absolutely.
And Stringfest was something he started because he felt that the orchestra was undersourced. It was a young program back then.
Sure.
It had only been around for so many years, and he wanted to do something to give back to the orchestra program that had given him so much. And he started Stringfest. He did that, I believe, for 2 or 3 years, and then after he passed away, the students wanted to keep it going. And so here we are in year 10, and it's stronger and better than ever.
Unbelievable that it's 10 years of Stringfest. And of course, with having Zuzu and Emmy here, and I'll start with Zuzu because you're sitting next to me. So what instrument do you play? And I guess I'm going to ask you a couple questions because we're going to share a microphone. What instrument do you play? How long have you been playing? And what do you look forward to most about Stringfest?
I play the double bass. I've been playing since 6th grade, and I'm mostly looking forward to bass ensemble.
Bass ensemble. So I love music. I listen to music all the time, and you say things like bass ensemble, and I feel like the dumbest person in Muscatine. So when it comes to orchestra, I'm having anxiety right now because I'm not that well versed. But bass ensemble, is it a bunch of people playing the bass at the same time?
Yes, it's actually 10 people.
10 people, okay.
Yes.
See, I'm baby stepping through this, right? So I get it. And again, I admire and respect people that can play instruments because I can play this many, as I told you before the show started. Emmy, what about you? What do you play?
I play the violin,
Okay.
and I've actually only been playing since 8th grade, but I really like being in the orchestra program, and now that I'm a senior, we just had our last concert, so I'm pretty sad to be going soon. But I'm super excited for Stringfest because each year students from the orchestra get to perform, and I think it's just really cool to be able to watch my peers be able to showcase their talent to the community.
So you had your last concert, but then you'll still participate in Stringfest, which is this Saturday. So that's nice. So you're not done.
Yeah, not done yet, which is
good,
nice,
right?
yeah.
Now, do you have plans, and you're a senior, so you can appreciate how quickly time goes by. Zuzu's sophomore, right? So you can tell people like Zuzu it goes by really fast, and it does,
does.
right? So do you have plans to continue playing? I guess what are you doing next year, and then will you continue playing in college or whatever your plans are?
Next year I'm going to the University of Washington in Seattle.
Good for you.
And I'm not really sure. I want to keep playing, but I think the first semester is just going to be me figuring out the community, and I know there's a big music scene in
Sure.
Seattle and everything, but I do want to continue playing. But I think the first semester it'll just be me getting used to the community and figuring out the options that I have. So.
John, what's the makeup like when we look at the orchestra as a sum? Like, do you have a lot of seniors that'll be graduating? Do you have a lot of underclassmen?
Well,
great picture on the screen right there, by the way. Wow, that's a lot of people. Holy
that would
moly.
have been, excuse me, that was, I think, class of 2017.
That's a lot.
Back
Okay.
then we had 114 kids in the orchestra. This year we have 134.
Oh my gosh.
And I know, yeah, it's great. And 26 of those are seniors, which is a pretty big senior class. Yeah, it's just a great crew of kids. You know, I adore all the kids that come through. I really consider myself very lucky to teach orchestra here at MHS. But yeah, we got a big crew going on over there.
You have to feel good. I mean, just again, the fact that the orchestra is something, I mean, it's given you a career in Muscatine, and to be able to have 134 students is a lot. I don't know what, if you look at, or if you have friends in other high schools in the surrounding areas, I mean, would Muscatine be one of the larger orchestras? And not that it's a competition with respects to how many students participate.
It's not a competition. We do have the largest orchestra, and we are proud of that.
Yeah.
We've really worked hard. Myself and Jessica Blanchard and Rachel Plummer, we've worked so hard on getting kids involved, keeping them involved, and getting them enrolled. And even talking back to Giles, when Giles was in high school, I believe there were 24 kids in the high school orchestra. So, we've grown a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So are you able to, again, we have such a good variety. So we have Zuzu, who's a sophomore heading into junior year, Emmy, who's going across the country, which is exciting. It's great. I'm so happy for you. But John, for you, are you able to get into like the 7th and 8th grade classrooms, and just because I imagine that, and I'm hilarious because I look like Tiny Tim, but are you able to get into the classrooms and tell these students in 7th and 8th grade, like, listen, this can do a lot of great things for you, in addition to obviously being a good student and doing well in classes, but being in the orchestra can unlock different avenues and opportunities. Like, you don't just have to stop playing. You want to be able to, and obviously we must have a great feeder system to have 134 students at the high school orchestra level. So, but what is that relationship like between 7th and 8th grade, and then by the time that they get to freshman year?
Well, what you said about the feeder program is really important. Jessica Blanchard runs the middle schools, and she has done such a very, very good job of keeping kids interested and giving them information about high school orchestra. Mm-hmm. I don't get to go into those classrooms as much as I want or should.
Sure.
I do, excuse me, I go in February and talk to the 8th graders about next year's orchestra, give them the information. There's a lot of misconceptions, that,
sure.
My kid wants to play in football, so obviously they can't do music. Well, that's not true. We have tons of student athletes. I mean, you're in the soccer team. You've been in soccer. We've got tons of kids who are involved in that, and we always just want to make sure that they are informed. And then our high school orchestras will go to the middle school in that February-March time frame and actually play with the middle school. So they get an opportunity to hear us, and I get an opportunity to kind of work with them and conduct one piece.
Okay, so Zuzu, how much, we had our last concert, but then of course String Fest this Saturday, which we're talking about, 7 o'clock at the auditorium at Muscatine High School. Have you been rehearsing this week, Zuzu? What's been going on ahead of String Fest?
Yes, it's actually really hectic the week before and stuff. Everybody's trying to get prepared and ready, so we have a great performance to show everybody. Sure. And in the bass ensemble, which Mr. Thumb was also in, we actually have rehearsal Thursday, so we get to plan a bunch of stuff then.
I was gonna say, so you're gonna be super prepared, obviously, for this Saturday. So then, I guess technically, this Saturday is your final performance. Not to be Debbie Downer, I'm really not. I'm not, but this is the last time you'll perform at the auditorium at Muscatine High School.
Yeah.
So you probably have a variety of emotions heading into String Fest. We certainly expect a full house and want people to get their tickets. But you must feel good, right? You're ready to have a great, and you probably have played String Fest the last 4 years, right?
Yeah, I have. Mm-hmm.
That's so awesome. I just can't believe it's been 10 years of String Fest, to have that continued and to have it be well supported. So for people that maybe this is the first time they're ever hearing about String Fest and they're going to show up on Saturday, they get their ticket. It's very affordable. Do proceeds from the ticket sales help with the orchestra program?
Yeah, so the way the ticket sales work, the proceeds all go to the orchestra program and what we need in terms of materials and music, instruments and repair. I'm sure a lot of people heard that our music program got $1 million for instruments last year from the district. But you know, those instruments still need to be repaired. Strings break. We need new music. You know, we've got so many kids, so we're thundering through probably 30 pieces a year or more. Wow. I don't know, it's more than that, but so the needs just, you know, we got to keep things running, and the money from Stringfest really is a huge help with that. Not only at MHS, but all the way down through middle school and 5th grade as well.
You talk about repairing some of the instruments and strings, and I imagine that it's not cheap when you're dealing with high quality instruments,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, that's the thing. If you're going to have 134 students participating in the orchestra, everybody is well equipped, I guess, for lack of a better word. But I mean, that's part of it, right? That maybe people don't understand is that there's a lot of maintaining of these instruments. When you see a picture like that,
Yeah.
you get a sense that, like, you know, when something goes wrong, God forbid, you got to have the resources there so that nobody's left out.
Well, and the instrument, the repair cost to an instrument varies, you know, based on, it's like a car. There are repairs that are, you know, $50, and there are repairs that are quite a bit more.
Sure.
You know, this winter was really harsh to our instruments. They're made of wood, and when you get that dry and that cold, it condenses and cracks. So, you know, a lot of those new instruments we had just gotten have these open seams and these cracks that need to be taken care of. And they're high quality instruments.
Absolutely.
You know, but even the best quality stuff, you know, the best car you get still needs repair, still needs maintenance, and you know, every little bit of help from the community, every little donation goes a really long way in making sure that we're even more prepared going into our next school year. So.
And again, having 10 years of Stringfest, you know, it's something that people look forward to. Again, I also understand that people may be hearing about this for the first time, which is great, and that's the point of having these conversations. But you have to feel good, everybody that's sitting here, and for Zuzu, this will be your second Stringfest, right? Probably. Or no, have you done it?
It's actually my third Stringfest.
Of course. You played while you were in 8th grade then?
Yep. I played in bass ensemble in 8th grade.
See, I didn't want to assume that, but I get that, right? Like, that makes sense. But you have to feel good when you walk out, or if you're seated on stage and then a curtain opens, however it happens, and you see a full crowd. And again, I'm putting the cart before the horse a little bit, but I also understand that there will probably be a full auditorium and that people shouldn't delay in getting tickets if they can get them ahead of time. But there's a sense that you have the support. Again, nothing is guaranteed, but knowing that people come out and are there has to make it just that much more enjoyable. I imagine as you're performing on stage, you're seeing familiar faces, and it just has to, I don't know, I mean, obviously you're focusing on what you're doing, but it's hard to not notice, right?
Yeah.
It's like tonight at the high school at the senior awards night, I'll be sitting on stage and it'll be packed, and I'll be trying to think of things to say that are not offensive and kind of funny. Don't make me look ridiculous. Maybe a couple Baby Shark references. But so when we look to Stringfest this Saturday, just talk about that experience. I mean, I guess we'll start with you. When you're, I mean, again, you've been doing it for a while, but when you play to a full house, how does that feel?
It feels good for multiple reasons. It's kind of nice, like, to be a little nervous when you begin to play, because it just, like, gets you excited. Mm-hmm. But it also means a lot to see a lot of people in the community, because we have a huge orchestra, like Mr. Thoma said, and a lot of people use school-issued instruments to be, like, not everybody can just go out and afford to buy a new instrument or afford to rent, and so it's really important to have a big crowd to get the funds so people can use those school-issued instruments so we can buy more and stuff.
And Zuzu, for you, like, when it was that 8th grade, are we trying to embarrass John? What's going on with these pictures over?
That's all right.
They're great pictures.
Oh my God.
Zuzu. Brian, please find an embarrassing picture of me from several years ago now to not make John feel awkward.
That's all right. It's just I forgot how long my hair was.
Zuzu, from that first time as an 8th grader to looking ahead to this Saturday, do you have, I mean, again, Emmy hit the nail on the head. Allowing yourself to be nervous is fine, right? It's part of life. But do you feel more confident now as a sophomore when you head into, a performance like Stringfest?
Yeah, I definitely feel more confident, and I feel like everybody does when they get older and stuff, because we are growing throughout the year, and like the work we do throughout the year is really impressive.
Right, that's just it. I mean, again, you're balancing life, academics, orchestra, athletics, or other activities. It's a lot. There's a lot on your plate. Plus, you're growing up in this social and digital age that John and I probably didn't really have. I mean, I didn't have my first cell phone until I was a freshman in college, and it was a Nokia that you could throw out the window and it would be fine, right? I actually went to freshman year at St. Ambrose with a calling card. I don't know if y'all are familiar with calling cards, but you would get on your cordless dorm room phone and then dial this number, and it would say, you have 200 minutes. And you're like, oh, cool, I can call my friends. You're not going to have that experience probably, but you have to manage a lot, and I can appreciate that for sure, like this balance that has to exist. Zuzu, it's interesting for you, though, because you're a sophomore heading into your junior year. Have you thought about what you want to do after school? And again, I know that that's a ways away, but in all reality, with how quickly time goes by, but have you given any thought to what you would like to do next? Emmy's heading to University of Washington in Seattle, which is a great opportunity. Have you thought about it?
Yes, I have. I definitely want to continue my music throughout my years and stuff. I'm actually thinking about being a music teacher, too, a high school music director when I'm older.
Wow. Okay, so John, when you hear that, right? I mean, that's, and I don't know if this is what you wanted to do, or
it was kind of an accident, the way it happened to me. Long
explain
story.
That. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to be in the military, in the Navy, and my wife talked me out of it because she, the Iraq War was still pretty hot back then. Then I wanted to be a history teacher, and then I just had this epiphany one night listening to a really beautiful orchestra piece that this is what I had to do. So, and thank God that this happened to me, because I'm really thankful to be here. When students say that, I'm really excited. My job is it's just so full of joy. Mm-hmm. It's just so full of excitement and just beautiful music and even more wonderful kids. It just gets a little hectic sometimes.
Sure.
But that's life. You got to do your job as well as you can, no matter what's thrown your way. So.
It's a great story to hear, because we all set out to have. I mean, I went to college to be a high school English teacher, right? And I have a talk show in a grocery store, right? There's no path to get here. Like, I didn't think I would switch majors and then spend 11 and a half years in radio and then come to work for Hy-Vee, but it's just sort of opportunity, right place, right time. Yeah. So I love that. Hey. There you go. There's an embarrassing picture of me and baby Lucy. Picture. Thanks, Ryan. John, do you need an assistant for the orchestra? Because Ryan is now fired. Maybe Ryan wants to go to Seattle with Emmy. Head out west, Ryan. Pack your bags. See you later.
I'm giving Ryan a lot of grief today.
Yeah. Ryan can handle it. He got a cake last week with his face on.
Oh, the bro cake. I saw that.
Brozone cake. Look at that.
Yeah, I saw that.
John knows about the Brozone cake. Okay, so we start at 7 on Saturday. How long does the performance go to with String Fest? Are there intermissions? Are there breaks?
So the way the concert works, it's a $10 admission.
Sure.
$5 for students. We don't have tickets ahead of time, but you can get them at the door.
Sure.
The concert will probably last about an hour and a half.
Excellent.
And it ranges from solos. We've got, one of our high school violinists, Mackenzie Lofgren, is playing a solo. We've got John Schultz, who actually was Giles's private teacher.
Oh, wow.
Is playing his violin for us. We've got quartets, we've got ensemble, we've got classical music, we've got rock music. We got a middle school quartet coming down. Our senior orchestra is playing one last time together. And then the grand finale, the entire MHS orchestra, members of both middle schools, and then MCSD orchestra alums are going to be on stage at the end for what we're thinking will be about 200 people. And then Miss Blanchard, I know, we won't all be on stage, but Miss Blanchard will be playing piano with that, so we're really excited. I don't know why I did that. This is not a piano.
That's okay.
But
we appreciate a good mime. That's
good.
Yeah.
So an hour and a half of just fantastic music. There's some sketches. We've got a couple masters of ceremonies keeping things going. I mean, it's a cool event. It's a really cool event. Yeah, look at that.
Full evening, right? So, again, if you're watching this, whether you're live or catching it on cable, this Saturday, your plans are made. 10th annual Giles Jocelyn Memorial String Fest at Muscatine High School inside the auditorium. 7 o'clock, tickets at the door. Do not miss an opportunity. What a great evening. I mean, just totally full. And the girls are just laughing at some of these pictures from a couple of years ago. Zuzu, what's making you giggle about these?
FOMO.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we got that on the record.
Please send help. I need...
Your hair wasn't that much longer than it is now. I don't understand. I mean, it's like,
I guess it's just the way I look. I don't know.
You have a tough gig, John. Man, kids these days, am I right? Call you by your last name? Is that a thing? Would I be Tone, I'd be Lokensoul, since that's my real last name. Is that what you would call me if I was a teacher? You'd call me Lokensoul?
I guess so.
No, you got to be Mr. Tone.
Mr.
That's
Tone,
awesome.
that's
Yeah,
what
Mr.
we
Tone.
need. Right, Mr. T. I could be Mr. T.
Hey, me too.
Right. Cool chains and everything. Coming back to something that you said, and I just hope that people understand when you say that there's $1 million from the district invested. Oftentimes, and this is not the case locally, but oftentimes the headlines are, music and the arts are getting cut. Music and the arts, and I don't know why that's always the first thing that's on the docket. It's not the case in Muscatine, certainly. But just, if you could, comment on that. $1 million from the school district is a significant amount of money, and for them to make that, that realization that we need to invest that to set up our students for success, whether they're current students or future ones. That's a big deal, and I just hope that people understand that, because again, some of the conversations that we hear are programs being cut, but not in Muscatine. That's not the case, right?
This community is amazing in so many ways. The way that ended up panning out, I actually wasn't in charge of that initial, proposition. But when it came down to it, me and the band directors got together and talked to the folks at the board office. And they said, what do you need? And we put together just this huge list. We're just going to shoot for the moon. We're going to tell them everything we need.
Sure.
And we gave them the amount. It was a lot. And they said, you know what? We know how many kids are involved. We know that this is a fantastic part of what you guys do. Hey, that's Suzu.
Suzu's famous! Yeah.
And they said, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. The arts have been so well supported here. We have the biggest orchestra program. We've got an incredibly healthy choir and band program. We have 500 students involved in band, choir, orchestra at the high school. And it just speaks to the community. It speaks to the amazing administrators that we have here in Muscatine. And then most importantly, the tenacity of the students and the support of the parents. Because if they didn't stick with this, this wouldn't be as amazing and strong as it is. And, we certainly wouldn't have the time and, the resources and the momentum to do what we do as teachers.
And again, as you know from friends that you have and things that you see, this does not exist in all districts.
It's sad,
And it is sad. We
is.
wish, of course, that all school districts had the luxury of being able to invest back into areas like this and understand that there's that many students. But I'm sure that you have peers elsewhere that are like, I can't believe you got to, you know what I mean? Like, you put together the wish list and it came true.
Yeah, and a lot of people saw it on social media, or I would talk to other orchestra directors around the state, and they would say that to me. They'd be like, "You're very lucky. You should be very and I am."
Sure.
And it is sad to see other districts, cutting positions or cutting orchestra at a certain grade, and kids deserve opportunity everywhere. Kids work hard everywhere, and thank God, here in Muscatine, that people around the community, not just me, not just a few students, but everyone understands that and believes in that and supports that.
And I don't want to assume, but I will. It seems like for students that participate in orchestra, probably a pretty good student in the classroom, right? I'm not going to ask anybody their GPAs, but probably higher than mine was in high school.
Mine too.
But I'm assuming that there are benefits to, to being able to learn an instrument and then excel in the classroom. And whether that's a proven thing or not, or if it's just me going out on a limb.
There is science on it. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Thank you, science. I'm not just making an assumption here. But right. That's right. And I sit here selfishly thinking about my 7-year-old, my 4-year-old, and my 7-month-old, and wanting to never force them to do anything, but just encourage. Like, you want to learn an instrument? Great. Like, in school, I always wanted to try acting and theater, and I never did. And then I did comedy sports later in life, and I wish, you always, I don't have regrets, but it's like, oh, look right there, Ryan's bailing me out with some science.
That's science. Look at
that. But that's just it, right? And I don't know if Emmy or Zuzu want to comment on how music has helped you in the classroom. If you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, so I start my day with music, and in my day with music, I play the bass in the band also, and it's really nice to start your day kind of off with something that you love to do and then end it too. So like if you're stressed throughout the day, you can just end it on a high note.
Oh, y'all are just super intelligent. Emmy, please.
I agree with that. It's nice. Like, I used to be in the Philharmonic Orchestra when I was a sophomore, and I'm in chamber. But wherever it is throughout the day, it's really nice to just take a break from your academics and be able to relax with music. Like, whenever I'm at home, I also like play piano. So whether I'm playing piano or violin, whenever I get like really stressed out or worked up, I just like sit down and like play the piano, and I feel like I just feel so much better after that. So it really helps.
It's a lot better than me yelling into a pillow, that's for sure. I mean, you know, I wish I could just sit down and like, I remember when rock was young. And I'm not saying that you go right to Elton John or Crocodile Rock, but that's the first song that I thought of. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Elton John. All right. So, again, if we recap, 10th annual Giles Joslin Memorial String Fest this Saturday. It's May 18th at Muscatine High School in the auditorium, 7 o'clock. Tickets at the door. Don't miss it. Flyer on the screen. This is going to be great. Emmy's last performance. She's ready. Zuzu will be back 2 more years for sure, and then she'll be gone because you'll be graduating, and it goes by that quick. Sorry. I feel like I went from 18 to 35 like that. I can't explain. I'll say that tonight probably at the senior awards, and you'll look at me like, whatever, old man, and I'm like, this is you soon, right? It goes by that quick, John, right?
It does,
it's
yeah. Yeah,
These moments are just...
I just turned 30 and I'm having a hard time. Yeah, it's
Get out
weird.
of here, you just turned 30. Talk to me when you're 35. I'm so old now. Look at me. I got gray hairs here, and it's the whole thing. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. And for the folks that are watching, please support the String Fest. If you can't make it for whatever reason this Saturday, just, you know, get online and pay attention to different performances. Go ahead, John.
There's one last thing. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot. If you can't make it to String Fest, we have a Facebook page, Muscatine School Orchestras. And on that, there we shared the event, and there's a link to donate.
Perfect.
So if you are wanting to support our program, but you can't make it Saturday night, please consider going to that link and giving us just whatever you can. That money sure goes a long way, and we appreciate whatever support, whether it be sitting in the seat or you know, sending us a little contribution. We sure appreciate everyone and everything that everyone does for us.
Yeah.
Here in Muscatine.
I would love nothing more than for Zuzu and Emmy to just talk to the camera and tell the fine people at home to donate. I mean, whether you want to invoke some tears or whatever, just listen. We need your help, friends, right?
Yes, please donate.
Yeah, please donate to our
Help the kids,
organization.
won't you? Listen, we got to make, well, you know, I promise if I ever win the lottery, another $1 million check heading your
I'll
way.
hold you to it.
Please hold me to it. I want to win the lottery. I'd be more than happy to. Thank you all for being here. Zuzu, good luck with the rest of sophomore year and then junior year. Emmy, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
And your next, I mean, it's going to be a whirlwind to go from Muscatine to Seattle, but you'll have such a great experience.
Yeah, I'm
it's
pretty
such a-
excited.
Right, it's so fun. I went from Chicago area to Davenport, Iowa, and that was 3.5 hours, but it felt like a lifetime away. So that's great for you. And John, great to see you.
Thanks for helping us getting the word
Really
out.
appreciate
Thank you.
it. Don't miss it this Saturday. Put the flyer back on the screen, fellas, if we could. Giles Joslin was wonderful, and I will think of him and remember the evenings when he was playing at Salvatore's and walking around, and how talented he was, and to have Stringfest continue now for 10 years and to remember Giles and at the same time supporting the students that are currently involved. Again, 134 members of the orchestra. That's incredible. And then the finale on Saturday will feature nearly 200 people. That's unbelievable. You don't want to miss that at Muscatine High School. Be there. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. We're going to go aisle cam. Chad, what do you think? Oh, the Tony cam. Hi. How's it going, friends? CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam is set up near the Health Market because today is Wellness Wednesday, right? So each and every Wednesday at the store, you can save 10% off on things in the Health Market and, of course, on health and beauty care items. So like for Ryan, he needs some product for his hair, probably, right? So you could save 10% off today, Ryan. Ryan's got great hair, by the way. He doesn't need product. He's just in my line of sight. It could just as easily be Cody. Cody needs stuff as well. You know, whatever Cody needs. You know what Cody needs? He needs Meltdown. He wants Meltdown drink. Code Man, make it happen. Let's go Toyota Muscatine Cart Cam. We're going to spy on Cody. We'll go aisle cam, cart cam, Inception. Grape Blade Meltdown. Sounds good, doesn't it? You can see the new sign, by the way, near that aisle. It says keto-friendly products here. And we definitely have keto-friendly products for people that are on a low-carb diet. I went to see my doctor yesterday at 4 o'clock. Been dealing with this cold. Just wanted to make sure that it wasn't anything worse, you know. And he just said my ears, quote, looked really red and bulging, which is not the best thing you want to hear, but got a prescription. I'll pick that up, of course, from the Hy-Vee pharmacy. And then he just said, how's the weight loss going? And I said, you know, I picked up a couple pounds, but I'm managing it. And he said, just make sure that you're not doing anything too drastic. So there's Cody with the Toyota Muscatine cart cam. We've got a little side-by-side action there between the cart cam and the aisle cam. And we're looking for some Grape Blade Meltdown packed with 7,500 milligrams of ketones. In the health market, 10% off, whether it's something for the keto diet or it's vitamins, whatever the case may be. He's found the Great Blade, everybody. 10% off is a great savings, I'm telling you. Everything that you can see on the screen. All right, so Cody, go straight if you could. Look at this. I love this. We got so much little inception going on here. So, Cody, go straight and then go to your right. And then right before Wine and Spirits, make another right. And I just want to show everybody in the cooler. Look at this. This is awesome. A little inception here. So right before Wine and Spirits, turn right if you could. And then, nope. One more aisle, sorry. There you go. Oh, gosh. Traffic jam. I like that lady, by the way. She gets her steps in the store. I can't think of her name because I'm bad with names. All right, right there on your right. Kombucha drinks. So there's a whole section. And out of anybody on the show, Chad's probably the person that not only drinks kombucha, I've heard he makes his own. I got to give it another chance. I told you the first time that I ever had a kombucha. And Cody, if you could, grab a kombucha drink and bring it back to the set. What I would encourage you to not do, if you're drinking kombucha, is don't shake it up and then open it in your car, because it will fizz everywhere. And the first time I ever had a kombucha, I opened it, it started to fizz, and I did that move, like, oh, I got to take a sip, and I didn't realize that it's fermented. So I'm not saying that I'm anti-kombucha. I'm just saying don't open it up and have it be fizzing out, and then you're like, oh, because if it's your first time ever having kombucha, you will go, what am I drinking? Why did I try this? That was me last year in my car in the parking lot here at Hy-Vee, opening it up, it fizzed over, and then I started doing that sip move, and you're like, oh yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? It's good for you? And again, not everything good, hi Judy, not everything good tastes bad. And I'm not saying that kombucha tastes bad. I'm not going to be that guy, because we'll get hate mail. I can't get hate mail from the kombucha people. They'll be very mad at me. I refuse to let that happen. I'm just saying, when Cody brings it back, I'll show you how to not open it, all right? I will shake it, and then I will not open it, because it was like this. It was like this, and I was like, oh, God, it's fermented. It was a surprise, to say the least. All right, a couple things I want to mention. As I said at the start of the show, today is National Chocolate Chip Day. And whether you celebrate National Chocolate Chip Day with, like, chocolate chip cookies from the bakery, I think there's a giant chocolate chip cookie hanging from the ceiling back there. And if that's the case, I'll have Cody grab his can. Thank you, sir. Cody, can you see with that camera, is there a giant chocolate chip cookie over my shoulder? I mean, I work here every day. I'm not wrong, right? There's a big chocolate chip cookie back there, right? I'm not saying that you only have to celebrate National Chocolate Chip Day with a chocolate chip cookie, whether you're going to have chocolate chip. There you go. Thank you. Ghirardelli chocolates, the highest quality. So maybe you're going to have chocolate chip pancakes like at the Broderson house. You know, whatever you're putting chocolate chips in. It's Chocolate Chip Day. It's also National Juice Slushy Day. So are you going to have a slushy or a Slurpee? 7th grade, 8th grade, we would walk to 7-Eleven and we would get Slurpees and Slim Jims. Weird combination, I know. It's also National Nylon Stocking Day. Not wearing nylon stockings, and it's Officers Memorial Day, which is fitting because we are also in the midst of National Police Week, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to all the men and women in law enforcement from the Muscatine area to surrounding areas, wherever you find yourself. And it's Peace Officer Memorial Day. I missed a word. I'm sorry. Peace Officers Memorial Day. There we go. Thankfully, Ryan can always bail me out. So here's a kombucha. And, you know, it's good for you. It's got enzymes and polyphenols, polypepenols, something. It's got a word I can't pronounce in there, but this is good stuff. Just don't do this. All right, Cody, now zoom out a little. Don't do this. Don't shake it and then open it in your car, because you can see what's happening. And this should have been a dead giveaway last year, that if I open this, it would go, and there's all, it's like, I don't know if you can zoom in on the bottom of that, but there's stuff in there. Look at that. See what I'm saying? I know it's good for you. It's got a bunch of probiotics and, you know, other stuff. This is original and raw, so this is not even like flavored. Oh boy, I don't know. I mean, I'm half tempted to take a drink, but I don't want to waste it either. You got the non-flavored kombucha? That's all right. I'm so tempted to take a drink, but I don't want to not like it and then or do a spit take. Like, I don't want to. Now, I'll tell you what, this Meltdown all day, easy. This stuff is not bad. I'm not saying that kombucha is bad. I'm just saying. And by the way, how about the fact that there is no sugar in Meltdown? Somebody's calling me from the store right now, by the way. That's interesting, on my cell phone. There is no sugar in the Meltdown, but there are 6 grams of sugar in the kombucha. Interesting, right? So what's healthier for you, the kombucha or the Meltdown? I don't know. You decide. You decide, friends. All right. Chad's kombucha. This is homemade. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. Unbelievable. This guy making his own kombucha. Wow. That is a process. You got to let it get all fermented and stuff, right? I'm assuming that's how that works. Ryan, I'm going to airdrop you a picture really quick, because as I was heading over to do the show this morning, my friend Kim Beckman, who runs the kitchen here, the Hickory House Kitchen at your Muscatine Hy-Vee, wanted me to take a couple pictures because she's got a bunch of caterings today, and she opened up one of the ovens and there were like 6 prime ribs in there. And I was like, is that for me? Like, I don't know if the picture showed up yet, but look at that. That's what I was looking at 8:20 this morning. Like, and I know you can't see from that picture, but there were like 7 prime ribs. And I guess like one of them, or some of them, are going to Zachary Group. So I'm not a Zachary employee, but I'd love to show up and eat lunch. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? Like, that's what I saw. She's like, come over. She's waving at me. I'm like, all right. So I walk over and she's like, you want to take a picture of this prime rib? And I'm like, yeah. Somebody's having prime rib for breakfast? Is that what's happening right now? I don't know. What are we doing here? Let's go. Let's go to Zachary and crash their party. That looks awesome, doesn't it? You know what I love is prime rib and kombucha. Do you know how much this was? I don't want to pay for it if I don't like it. What if I take a sip and then we just like hide it in Delmer's desk? And we like, Delmer, did you steal that kombucha? He's not here today, so I can say that. All right, Ryan. Let's see. So I want to talk about a couple things, then we'll get out of here. So the Captain John Grill It Up, Fuel It Up flyer. This is awesome. So if you want to save money on gas, you can do it here at Hy-Vee. Of course, with the Fuel Saver Plus Perks card, it's a fantastic thing to be able to do, right? And we have different ways to save. So there's thousands of items all throughout the store that already have a fuel saver on them. And then this in particular are items in the seafood department. So our friend Captain John put this flyer together. The deals are good now through Sunday. And you can see right there on the screen, we've got things like jumbo Jamaican seasoned cook shrimp skewers. That's awesome. 8-cent fuel saver. Salmon burgers have a 6-cent fuel saver. Salmon that is seasoned portions, or seasoned salmon portions, if I read it correctly. 10-cent fuel saver. We did the math already. 54 cents off per gallon is what you would save if you bought everything that's on this flyer. And you can see even more deals. Marinated cooked shrimp, swordfish kebab. And then last but not least, the Asian Zing tuna skewer. OMG. Zoom out, Rye Guy. Look at that. Grill it up, fuel it up. Good looking flyer, good through Sunday right here at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. On the back page of the Voice of Muscatine newspaper, we're talking about the class of 2019. Our friend Emmy Smith, who is with us, she is a member of the class of 2019. She probably is going to have a graduation party, and if Emmy and her family need anything, we can take care of it all here at Hy-Vee. And I know that you know this, but just a friendly reminder, from catering, whether it's prime rib or kombucha or veggie trays or deli trays or fruit trays or flowers, bakery stuff. I got to stand up, sorry. I'm just getting to that point where I got to stand. I think it's just the cross that I bear being so tall. It's all there. The $2.99 salads from the kitchen are fantastic. And additional fuel savers when you buy giant, small, medium. I know that none of them are giant size, but if you need trays, we'll help you out for sure. One-stop shop. Ryan, zoom and scroll to the bottom if we could slowly. I just want to show everybody the rest of that ad. Somehow I'm getting more congested sitting here. It's driving me crazy. They have a prescription. I should have Cody go pick up my prescription. He probably can't. He probably can't pick it up with the cart cam. I got to sign for it. But those salads are great, right? Tomato, Ruffy. It's not Ruffy, right? It's Rui, I think. Spring salad, macaroni salad, rotini salad, coleslaw salad, and bacon ranch potato salad. Those salads, $2.99 per pound through Labor Day. Can't beat it. And, of course, the best graduation cakes come from the Muscatine Hy-Vee Bakery. That is for sure. I didn't send you the new Fuel Saver flyer. I don't think I sent that to you. I meant to, and then I didn't. No, that was the one that expired yesterday. It's okay. Let's skip ahead to the Thursday night dinners, because tomorrow, two things about Thursday. Mega Meat and Seafood Thursdays, save on the Fuel Saver, and then we'll cook dinner for you every Thursday moving forward. I mean, I think we're keeping this going not only through May, but looking ahead to June. I've heard that the steak nights might come back. This Thursday, May 16th, we've got thick-cut, 8-ounce boneless pork chops ready to go. Starting at 4 o'clock, you can walk in and walk out with a meal. You can dine in. If you feel so inclined, we'll get you taken care of. That's on the menu for this week. Next week, it's ribs. And then the following week, can you believe that we're sitting here ahead of May 16th, and then we see things like May 30th? And that'll be here so soon. And then I'll be off for a week, moving, getting settled, buying stuff. That's one of the perks about moving, isn't it? You know what I'm excited about? My new house has a finished basement, and I get to finally buy a big TV. Not like obnoxious. I don't got like 80-inch TV money. But big enough, right? I think the TV that we've had, by the way, it's a 42-inch TV. I've had it for 10 years. It was $1,800 10 years ago. Now you can get, and I've been looking, you can get like a 55-inch TV for like $400. I'm not saying it's the best quality, but that's ridiculous, right? I told my wife, I'm like, I can't get rid of the 10-year-old TV. I know that the kids have punched it, kicked it, drawn on it, scratched it, thrown stuff at it. I don't know what they haven't done to it, but it's like, that was so much dough 10 years ago. I mean, that's like the equivalent of $1 million in 2019, I think. All right, so what a good combo, right? There you go. Homemade kombucha. And prime rib. Yes, to the prime rib. All you're missing is a third picture of the Chef Tess Brussels sprout salad, and then you've just got the best meal ever. You got your protein, you got your greens, and you got your homemade kombucha. This thing is still... It's just, there's just stuff that moves in there, I mean... We already zoomed in. We're not zooming in again. We've already shown the stuff floating around in there. We've already shown the floaters. We're good. You know what doesn't have floaters? Meltdown. You know what it does have? Ketones. Put that right in the tone pocket. Get in there. There we go. That's better. Okay. Let's Salvation Army dinner and then the job board, and we'll get out of here. So Salvation Army here in Muscatine has their annual fundraising dinner Friday at Geneva Golf and Country Club. 82 tickets have been sold, which is okay. I will say that there are still several ways that you can buy tickets, and I would encourage you to do. I would love nothing more than for that number to be closer to 100. This helps out the Salvation Army and their Kids Zone camp to make sure that that camp can be successful. We want you to be there. Thad Burkamper, TB Mentalism will be there. It's at Geneva Golf and Country Club. You can get tickets by calling 263-8272 or online, Buy them online, support this cause, and we don't want you to miss out on that. All right, let's get to the team staffing job board, and then we will wrap the show up for today. Our friends at Team Staffing, located at 109 Lake Park Boulevard across from Happy Joe's. They've got jobs every day of the week when they're open. They're hiring people, and if it's you or someone you know, call them. Here's Mary looking for lawn care help, right? Assuming that this is seasonal because we are in the lawn care season, 10 to 11 bucks an hour, first shift. You like working outside, whether it's first, second job, third job, I don't know. Listen, call Mary, talk to her about it. 563-316-7634. She'll help you out. Brooke McCullough, who will be with us Friday, if I'm not mistaken, on this show, has a driving position. I'm not bad at driving, kind of got a little bit of a lead foot, a little bit of road rage. Maybe I am bad at driving. Maybe this is what I'm realizing. Am I a bad driver? I don't have a lot of citations. I ain't never been arrested. Don't have a lot of speeding tickets. This could be me. 12 bucks an hour, 5:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Where are we driving? Requires heavy lifting. I don't know about that. For me, I just thought I could drive, but I could lift stuff too. I'm pretty strong. Call Brooke, 563-316-7636, or email her and get that job. Last but not least, Jenny, who just celebrated, by the way, 12 years. I got to take a sip or I'm going to cough. Hang on. I would love nothing more after this. We go to the Team Staffing Facebook page. Jenny just celebrated, I believe, 12 years with Team Staffing. This is construction laborers. $16.50 an hour and $75 per diem? What? 75 bucks a day to eat? Like, where is this at? This the construction they're doing near my mom's house on 8th Street? What's going on? Sign me up. I could free myself up in the evenings if they're working overnight. I don't know anything about construction, but I like per diem. 75 times 5, do that math really quick. That's awesome. 563-316-7635. Call Jenny. All right, we're going to wrap the show up because I'm going to cough or something. I got to blow my nose. I'm dealing with this cold. I know a lot of people have allergies. That's what a lot of people have said to me, you have allergies. I don't. I have no allergies. So, but I appreciate the concern. Thank you. And I literally am going to finish the show and go to the pharmacy and get my prescription. Team Staffing here in the Muscatine, celebrating our friend Jenny right there. Look at there's Jenny. I see her in the store all the time. She is just wonderful. Hi, Jenny. Congratulations to Jenny celebrating 12 years. I think that's what it says. There we go. 12 years with the company. Way to go. She's done an excellent job. She's hired thousands of people, and she's just great. Hello, Erica. All right. Thank you for watching Hy-Vee today. Thank you to John Thoma. They say it's not Tama, it's Thoma, right? Thoma, John Thoma, orchestra director with Muscatine High School. Thanks to Emmy Smith and Zuzu Hartman. The 10th annual Giles Joslin Memorial String Fest is this Saturday at Muscatine High School in the auditorium at 7 o'clock. Tickets at the door. Great opportunity for you to support the kids, the students, and the orchestra program that has 134 members of the orchestra. That is exciting, and we thank them for taking the time to being with us. Think about it this way. They missed school to be here, right? Probably had to go back to school. Should have drug out the interview longer maybe, but support them. And tonight, I will be at Muscatine High School in the auditorium with the class of 2019. Thousands of dollars. And if you watch this show starting at 7:30 or 10:30 p.m., it's already happened, but thousands of dollars over the course of 2 to 3 hours handed out in the form of scholarships to, I don't know if it's every member of the class of 2019, but it's a lot, right? I mean, I don't know how many students will receive a scholarship this evening, but it's a couple hundred easily. I did this last year for the first time. I had no idea the scale of giving that happens in Muscatine. I know that Muscatine is great, but last year, I mean, just an example, there's individuals that every year donate money to help kids pay for continuing their education, whether that be at a 2-year school, at a 4-year school, at a trade school, whatever the case may be. It's thousands. I mean, it's probably close to $1 million in scholarships for our students. And for the class of 2019, that's exciting. And I don't know if that exists everywhere. So when I say that Muscatine is a special place to be, I mean it. And I have no plans on going anywhere, right? I'm in it to win it, baby. Put on a chicken head, whatever I got to do. I'm here. Right? Because that's exciting, and I can't wait to be a part of that tonight with the class of 2019. And I hope that Muscatine High School asks me back to do it, you know, for the next couple of years. I would like nothing more than to do that. The last thing that I'll mention, because it's finally public, congratulations to Mike Morgan, who is retiring from Muscatine High School as the activities director. Big fan of Mike Morgan, and wish him nothing but the best. I imagine, knowing Mike the little bit that I do, he will not be bored during his retirement. I bet there'll be ways that he occupies his time, because he's just a wonderful person, and but he's also worked hard. So if he just decides to enjoy his retirement, he has earned that right. So shout out to Mike Morgan, who always was dressed well, a lot of fun outfits, and just a great guy and a great asset for this community. So yeah, congratulations to Mike. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks to CBI Bank and Trust, Toyota Muscatine, and team staffing. This is Tony Tone saying we'll be back Thursday, Friday, and then another full week next week. If you want to be a guest on the show, email me, hyveetoday@gmail.com. Reach out on Facebook, call the store, send me a fax. I think we have a fax machine somewhere, or just come by and tell me in person. It would be great to hear who we should talk to. That's it. Goodbye. Don't shake your kombucha.
You're watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.